What's poppin', guys? Welcome back to another video. As you can tell by today's title, I will be doing the accent challenge. So I'm from Michigan, Detroit to be exact, and I don't think we have an accent. As I look at New York or LA or, somewhere in the southern region, Alabama or Georgia or Florida, Tennessee and Louisiana and things like that, although they're in the South, I know some of those states have their own, like it's still a Southern dialogue, but they have their own Southern dialogue. Like you can tell from Louisiana, people from Baton Rouge or New Orleans, they have that certain twang to their accent, as well as Florida, and Georgia and Alabama as well. In New York, we know a New Yorker when we hear them speak, as well as LA, but I feel like in the Midwest region, like Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, and all that type of stuff, I feel that we really don't have an accent. I think if we do, maybe to like other people, it might be more clearer. If anything, I heard that somebody told me that I talk like proper. I talk like one of those bill collectors calling. Say hello. Also to add, a lot of our grandparents and mothers and fathers and things like that came up from the South. So I feel that they bought that kind of Southern flavor, but kind of adapted to the North. And some of them never lost their Southern flavor. I know with my grandmother, her accent wasn't as thick, but certain words that she said, we look at her like, yeah, that's country. Like she would say something like, what you going after? And we like, what? My one cousin was like, I'm about to go to the store. She was like, I know, but what you going after? She like, I'm going to the store. And my auntie just turned to my cousin like, what are you getting from the store? And I feel honestly that Chicago has it the worst. Like you can hear like when they open their mouth, like what part of Mississippi are y'all from? So I have 31 words that I have to pronounce in my Detroit, Michigan clear accent, if you will, because I don't think we have an accent at all. I think it's more so the way that we say certain words that will kind of put us in that mix and over there in that area. But I also have 10 questions that I have to answer, and determined by my answer will let you know where I'm from. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Like for real, like what are you waiting for? For those that kind of tiptoed around the channel to see if they like it or maybe not, you need to quit. Press that subscribe button. All right, with no further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first word is aunt, or auntie as I call it. I don't really say aunt or aunt, just auntie. Number 2 is roof, like the roof is on fire, roof. Number 3 is route, like you're traveling on a different route. Number 4 is oil, like cooking oil. Number 5 is wash, like body wash, wash. Number 6 is theater, or theater, or we call it show, like, oh, we're going to the theater, or we're going to the show. I more so say theater rather than show. I think back in the days is when we call it like the show. Number 7 is iron, like ironing board, iron. Number 8 is salmon, salmon croquettes. I'm not a fan of fish, but salmon. Number 9 is caramel or caramel. I prefer caramel over caramel, but caramel. Number 10 is fire. Number 11 is water, water, water. Number 12 is sure. Sure, I'll go with you to the basketball court. Number 13 is data, like how much data do you have in your phone? Data, or data, but data. Number 14 is ruin. Number 15 is crayon. Some people call it crayon. I call it crayon. Number 16 is New Orleans. New Orleans. Or New Orleans, but New Orleans. Pecan. Some people call it pecan. Number 18 is both. Number 19 is again. Number 20 is probably. or Priley, depending on who you're talking to. Number 21 is spitting image. Number 22 is Alabama. Shout out B-Ham. Number 23 is lawyer. Number 24 is poupon. Number 25 is mayonnaise. I call it mayonnaise. We put it all together, mayonnaise. Number 26 is syrup. Number 27 is pajamas. Number 28 is caught. Number 29 is naturally. Number 30 is aluminum. Number 31, this always get me right here because it's always a debate, envelope. I know some people say envelope. And my bonus one, when I was younger, when I say about 6 or 7, I could not pronounce anything that started with the letter Q. And my family just thought it was the cutest and funniest thing ever. I pronounced it cool. They say, no, say Q. I said, cool. So when I say certain Q words, you probably can see it like question. My husband tickles himself. So that sums up the 31 words. Now we're gonna get into the questions. So the first question reads, what is it called when you throw toilet paper at a house? We call that TPing. You got your house TP last night. TP. I'd rather toilet paper than eggs. Number 2, what is the bug called when you touch it, it rolls into a ball? We would call that a roly-poly. Where I'm from, it's a little roly-poly, it balls up, and when we were little, we used to take it and just kind of smush it. Yeah, we were disgusting. Number 3, this is a good one. What is the bubbly carbonated drink called? Pop. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and we call it pop. I know some of our southern counterparts call it soda. This is a debate for the ages. We call it pop. I remember I went down to Alabama 2005 for a funeral, and after the funeral, we went to the repast, and they served food and things like that, and they were serving myself and my uncle's wife our food, so we sitting at the table conversating, and they asked us this question that almost caused an uproar. They said, what do you want to drink? I said, a pop is fine. And if I can tell y'all how that woman looked at me when I said pop, you would think I went in there and disrespected everybody. Called everybody out their name. That's how much level of disgust was on her face when I said pop. And the other woman that she was talking to looked at her and said, she want a soda. I'm like, whatever. Pepsi me, please. It was just like the weirdest thing ever, guys. So yes, this is always funny to me when this question get brought up. Like, we call it pop, sorry. Actually, it's the same thing. It's called soda pop, right? So y'all take the first part of it, we take the last. Pop. The number 4 is, what do you call gym shoes? We call them gym shoes. I'm not even gonna lie. We call them gym shoes. I know in other areas like New York and over on the East Coast, they call it sneakers. And I don't know what the South pretty much call it, but I know in like the Midwest region in our area, preferably Detroit. I can't speak for the other Midwest, cities and towns and things like that, but I know in the D, we call it gym shoes. Number 5, what do you say to address a group of people? What up, though? That's our saying, what up, though? But if it's somebody that that I don't know and, that don't know me, I would probably say, excuse me, and then proceed to speak. But if you know me, I know you. You see me out, I see you out. It's what up, though? Number 6, what do you call a spider-like creature and very long legs? We call them daddy long legs. I never seen one like in person, but I know when I was younger, I was like super tall for my age, and that's what my auntie used to call me. Look at the daddy long legs, like, okay, whatever. Never knew it was a spider. But yeah, I don't like spiders. Number 7, what do you call your grandparents? Sorry to say, we called them by their nicknames. I never called my grandmother grandma or granny. She was just plain old Margaret to me. And my grandfather was plain old Gilly. I don't know if that's strange. That was their names, Marg and Gilly. Like Bonnie and Clyde, Marg and Gilly. Number 8, what do you call the wheel contraption in which you carry groceries at the supermarket? We call that a buggy. I don't know if you guys call it a cart or anything else, but it's just a buggy to us. Grab me one of those buggies. That's what I always heard my mama say. Number 9, what do you call it when the rain is pouring down and the sun is shining at the same time? When we were younger, we used to always equivalent that with the devil beating his wife. I don't know if that's a Detroit thing. I don't know if that's just a Southern thing that made it up to the North through our relatives. I don't know where that comes from, guys. Like, don't ask me. Please don't ask me. When we were younger, like, oh, the devil must be beating his wife. It's crazy kids. Last but not least, number 10, what is that thing you use to change the television? We call that a remote. A remote. I know it's a remote control, but we shorten it and say, pass me that remote. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I want to do more of these fun little challenges. If you have any other ideas that you would want me to do, please leave down in the comments below. Also, shout out y'all cities and y'all towns and y'all sayings and y'all slang and things of that nature. Again, I enjoyed doing this, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, please leave me a big fat like thumbs up and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, okay? Well, see you in the next video, guys.